Hi, and welcome back. I know it's been a while. I was on an ICU rotation for the last month and haven't had much time to do much of anything else, if I'm honest. But it was a great learning experience, and now I am back. Today, tonight, whenever it is you're watching this, instead of medical breakthroughs or the history of medicine, I decided I might do some random facts about the human body. So let's get started. These are all from the Human Body app. Just a bunch of random facts about the human body. And I have not gone through any of these yet. So if they're obviously false, I will let you know. Your brain is about 13 to 1400 cubic centimeters in volume, which is about the size of a cantaloupe, and wrinkled like a walnut. There are 3 types of human cartilage: hyaline, fibrous, and elastic. The finger bones are straight on the backside, but curved on the palm side. Makes sense. I imagine it makes it easier to grip things. Humans shed about 600,000 particles of skin every hour, which is about 1.5 pounds per year. By 70 years of age, an average person will have lost 105 pounds of skin. That's a lot. You will take approximately 5 million steps per year using your leg muscles, as opposed to what muscles? Blondes have more hair than dark-haired people. I'm sure there's an exception to that rule, but who knows? Most hiccups are harmless, and they usually stop after a few minutes. As an aside, some hiccups do not stop after a few minutes, and they are medically very complicated. About 70% of your immune system is in your digestive system. Makes sense. That's where most of the things that we consume go. The human body has enough fat to produce 7 bars of soap. Not something that I had thought about until now, but yikes. Cartilage makes up about 25% of your spine's length. The energy used by the brain is enough to light a 25-watt bulb. Some people brighter, some people not so bright. But that's okay. We all have our value. Over the course of a lifetime, your heart beats about 2.5 billion times. It's a hard-working muscle. Your heart is made up almost entirely of muscle, and it's strong enough to lift approximately 3,000 pounds, roughly the weight of a compact car. I'm not sure how they figured that out. Would have liked to see those experiments. Clench your fists and put them side by side. That's roughly the size of your adult heart. It's true. I've seen many of them, both not in patients and in patients. And it checks out. The kidneys of a newborn baby are about 3 times larger in proportion to body weight as in the adult. I wonder what it is for babies' heads. Babies' heads are huge. More electrical impulses are generated in one day by a single human brain than by all the telephones in the world. Makes sense, but again, I never really thought about it. The first sense to develop in the fetus is the sense of touch. I guess I'll take your word for it. 70% of the dust in your home consists of shed human skin. Remember, 105 pounds over the course of your life. Humans are born with over 300 bones in their body. However, when the person reaches adulthood, they have only 206. A lot of these bones fuse together. You're born with individual skull bones, and then they all fuse to make one skull. As one example, a healthy individual releases 3.5 ounces of gas in a single flatulent emission, or about 17 ounces in a day. Moving right along. There are more than 600 voluntary muscles in the body, and all medical students have to know them all to pass anatomy. And then we promptly forget most of them. Your eyes contain a small blind spot where the optic nerve passes through the retina. It's true, and I'm sure many of you have done the little dot tests, but if you haven't, they are worth Googling. It's fun. About 1 liter of blood flows through your brain every minute. Your left lung is smaller than your right lung to make room in your chest cavity for your heart. That's true. And your left mainstem bronchus comes off at a sharper angle than your right mainstem bronchus. But that's just me being a dork, and maybe you impressing somebody at your next dinner party. Or not. Who knows? The capacity for emotions such as joy, happiness, fear, and shyness are already developed at birth. So I guess you don't teach emotion. You're born with them. The human face is made up of 14 bones. Yeah, I guess so. Red blood cells carry oxygen around the body. They are created inside the bone marrow of your bones. Specifically the hemoglobin on your red blood cells. But that's neither here nor there. Every time you step forward, you use 54 muscles. Each kidney is about 4.5 inches long. On the CT scanner, they're just these cute little bean things. The 52 bones in your foot make up about 25% of all the bones in your body. Makes sense, right? Gotta balance. Lymph nodes, the most important defense mechanisms of your body, are not found in your feet Gotta make room for all those bones. The average human head contains more than 500 trillion atoms and weighs about 8 pounds. I got a big head. I think mine's heavier. Over 99% of your DNA sequence is the same as other people's. It's wild when you think about it, but it's 100% true. 7% of a human's body's weight is made of blood. It's a lot of blood. The left side of your body is controlled by the right side of your brain, while the right side of your body is controlled by the left side of your brain. That's mostly true, but there are some very specific exceptions. Your sense of smell is least acute in the morning, but your ability to perceive odors increases as the day wears on. Your skin is made up of 3 major layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. Epi means above, and hypo means below. Not exact translations, but close enough. About 1 person in 20 has 2 extra ribs, making 13 pairs instead of 12. I didn't know it was that common. Goosebumps are actually little pimples that will help retain a layer of warm air over our body. It's true because it sticks the hairs up and makes a little thin jacket. If all of your muscles could pull in one direction, you could create a force of 25 tons. Now, some people are stronger than others, but I'm guessing this is just an average. The average lifespan of one single red blood cell is 120 days. The average human scalp has 100,000 hairs. I will say that my grandfather has a lot fewer. Adult lungs have a surface area around 70 square meters. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The largest human organ is the skin, with a surface area of about 25 square feet. It's weird to imagine that. Over 90% of digestion and absorption takes place in the small intestine. On average, 1 million barrels worth of blood is pumped through the heart in a lifetime. Your heart works hard, what can I say? Muscles account for approximately 40% of your body weight. And I'm pretty sure most of us hope for more. If you sleep 5 hours or less per night, your chance of getting high blood pressure doubles compared to if you sleep 7 hours or more per night. Yep. Your nails don't sweat. The nail bed does not have sweat glands, so it can't perspire. Dead cells in the body ultimately go to the kidneys for excretion. Most of them. Our sense of taste is greatly influenced by our sense of smell. Next time you eat a hot pepper, plug your nose while you eat it and after you swallow it. See how bad it is. Bet it takes the edge off. The entire length of all the eyelashes shed by a human in their life is over 100 feet. Yikes. There are an estimated 20 to 25,000 genes in our genome. That's a lot. I feel like I'm not that complicated. So why do you need 25,000 genes to make me up? The strong contraction of your heart creates enough pressure to squirt blood up to 30 feet. This is very true. I have seen this. It's wild. In a lifetime, your digestive system can handle about 50 tons of food and liquid. I may be stressing that towards the end of my life. I eat a lot. The average human being has 21 square feet of skin and about 300 million skin cells, which I find peculiar because a previous fact said the human skin is about 25 square feet. A fingernail or toenail takes about 6 months to grow from base to tip. The average woman is 5 inches shorter than the average man. Colorblind people see only certain colors, such as red, green, and blue. Colorblindness is more common in males than in females. I don't know why. Your brain is about 2% of your total body's weight, but uses 20% of your body's total energy. Good thing, your brain's got a lot to do. The human's small intestine is 6 meters long. It's almost 20 feet. The human thumb is controlled by 9 individual muscles, which are controlled by 3 major hand nerves. Yeah. It's good, again, grabbing things. Each human hand contains 48 nerves, 3 major nerves, 24 sensory branches, and 21 muscular branches. Your hands are important. If identical twins grow up without having a certain tooth, the other twin will most likely also grow up with that tooth missing. It's a weird thing to put in there. Enamel is the hardest substance in the human body. A fetus acquires fingerprints at the age of 3 months. The kidneys have a higher blood flow than even the brain, liver, or heart. Yeah, the kidneys are very needy. 300 million cells die in the human body every minute. The brain can stay alive for 3 to 5 minutes without oxygen. After that, brain cells begin to die. Humans continue to make new neurons throughout life in response to mental activity, which is why it's so very important to consistently keep your mind sharp and exercised. There are about 100 billion neurons in the human brain, the same number of stars in our galaxy. The permanent teeth that erupt to replace their primary predecessors, or baby teeth are called succedaneous teeth. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but that's the one we're going to go with today. Your wrist is the best place to test the pulse, since major arteries come nearer to the surface here than any other place in your body. Not always the case when we're in the hospital, but that's okay. 85% of the world's population can curl their tongue into a tube. Can you? I can. The middle part of your ear amplifies sound pressure and helps equalize pressure. The lifespan of a human hair is but 3 to 7 years. Interesting. So then do new hair follicles just take their spot? I didn't know that. Your bone marrow is a production house for B cells, natural killer cells, granulocytes, immature thymocytes, red blood cells, and platelets. A lot of good stuff happens in the bone marrow. Your spine contains over 120 individual muscles, 220 specialized ligaments, and over 100 joints. The left hemisphere of the brain has about 186 million more neurons than the right hemisphere. I wonder why. Even while you sleep, your tongue keeps working to push saliva into your throat. Probably so you don't choke. Your spleen plays an important role in your immune system, which helps your body fight infection. It's true. Marrow tissue types are inherited, just like skin and hair color. A person is more likely to find a donor within his or her own ethnic group, but that is not a hard and fast rule. Your spinal cord is the route where all nerve signals travel between your brain and your body. Mostly true. Not your eyes. Jaw muscles can provide about 200 pounds of force to bring the back teeth together for chewing, which pales in comparison to just about every other animal on the planet. The only bone fully grown at birth is located in the ear. By age 60, most people have lost half of their taste buds. That's actually really sad. I wonder what I won't be able to taste when I'm 60. The lung on the left side of your body is divided into 2 lobes, while the lung on the right side is divided into 3. Remember, the one on the left is smaller because the heart occupies some of that space. Newborn babies can protect themselves against choking. Their tongues automatically push out foreign objects to keep them from choking. Which is weird because every time I see an infant, it's trying to put something in their mouth. In healthy adults, it takes 24 to 72 hours from the time of eating to complete the process of digestion. Gardening is said to be one of the best exercises for maintaining healthy bones. It makes sense. You crouch, you stand, you're lifting, you're digging, you're putting yourself in awkward positions. Makes sense. Cone cells in your retina detect color, while rod cells detect low light contrasts. The brain is composed of about 77% water, 10% lipids or fat, 8% protein, 1% carbohydrate, 2% soluble organics, and 1% inorganic salt. If I have taken anything from this particular fact, it will be that I still need to drink more water. Everyone has his or her own unique odor identity or smell fingerprint. Interesting. Your body has over 50 million white blood cells that work to protect your body's defense system. It's a lot of cells. If your brain loses blood for 8 to 10 seconds, you will lose consciousness. A child will lose his or her first tooth around the ages of 5 or 6. Your larynx is a cartilaginous structure at the top of your trachea, which contains the elastic vocal cords. When resting, the average adult breathes around 12 to 20 times per minute. Approximately 75% of human feces is made of water. I will say we run into a lot of problems with constipation at the hospital, and it's mostly because people don't drink enough water. Women burn fat more slowly than men, by about 50 calories per day. So if 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories, that would mean it would take 70 days, all other things being equal, to maintain a 1 pound difference in fat loss. The Achilles tendon, the largest tendon in your body, can withstand more than 1,000 pounds of force. Really makes you think when somebody tears their Achilles, how strong they actually are. Your skin contains a protein called keratin, which is also found in hair and nails. Babies' hearts beat at twice the rate of adults, and they breathe twice as fast as adults. There are a lot more vital sign differences between adults and babies. Like the blood pressure in babies is way lower than that of adults. You will have all the muscle fibers you will ever have at birth. Once damaged, they can't be replaced, but they can be made bigger. Each human hand contains 30 arteries and many smaller branches. And my last fact of the night: the human heart begins to beat as early as 4 weeks after conception. I hope you guys learned something tonight. I think I did. But for now, I'm tired, and I hope you are too. Be well.